Hi students, myself Sadish Kumar Konidala, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Pharmacy, Vignyans Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, Guntur. In previous video, we discussed about the biomolecules. In that, we started the carbohydrates and we discussed about the what is the importance of carbohydrates, their classification. In that, we discussed monosaccharides. So we know that monosaccharides are the basic sugars. These basic sugars, these monosaccharides having a single monomer, it is not subjected to any further hydrolysis. Okay, and we also discussed about the stereoisomerism properties of these monosaccharides along with their symmetry. Along with the asymmetric properties of these monosaccharides, and also we discussed about the structure of glucose. So the cyclic structures of glucose, so that is of furanose and pyranose structures of glucose already we discussed. So in this class we are going to discuss about the further classification of carbohydrates like disaccharides, oligosaccharides, polysaccharides are going to be discussed. And its chemical properties. So before going to talking about the disaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides, so we are going to, so first we will see about the glycosides. So glycosides are nothing but the compounds which are having the glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond, and this glycosidic bond is present between the hydroxyl group of either hemiacetal or hemiketal of one carbohydrate with that of the hydroxyl group of another carbohydrate or non-carbohydrate moiety. So there is a glycosidic bond. That glycosidic bond is present between the hydroxyl group of hemiacetal or hemiketal. Hemiacetal or hemiketal of one carbohydrate with other hydroxyl group which is present in the another carbohydrate moiety, or it may be present in non-carbohydrate, for example in case of methyl alcohol, phenol or glycerol. Understood? So that means the another moiety which is attached with the glycoside bond, it may be either carbohydrate or non-carbohydrate. So that type of compounds are called as the glycosides. Understood? For example, if the glycoside bond is present between the hydroxyl group of hemiacetal so that may be represented as consider this one as a hemiacetal structure, and there is a glycosidic bond is formed between this one and methyl alcohol. For example, methyl alcohol. Okay, so for example consider the glycoside is like this. So one part is the carbohydrate moiety and another part is the non-carbohydrate moiety, and there is a glycosidic bond is present between the hemiacetal OH group and OH group of the methyl alcohol. Okay, and this non-carbohydrate part is considered as the aglycone moiety. and this one is the glycone moiety, and the bond present between these two is considered as the glycosidic bond. Understood? So the non-carbohydrate bond which is attached to the carbohydrate moiety through the glycosidic bond is considered as the aglycone moiety. Okay, and these glycosidic bonds and when there is a presence of when the glycosidic bond is present between the two carbohydrate moieties, for example monosaccharides. So consider this one as a one hemiacetal group, and this will form the glycosidic bond with another hemiacetal group. Another acetal group. That means and when the glycoside bond is formed between the two carbohydrates moiety, for example, consider this one as the one hemiacetal group. So this is the OH group, and there is a formation of glycosidic bond between these two. So that means this one is a one carbohydrate and this one is a another carbohydrate. These two will be combined or attached by the glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond. And this type of compounds are considered as the either disaccharides oligosaccharides or polysaccharides. That means repeated units of carbohydrates held together by the glycosidic bonds. Repeated units of monosaccharides held together by the glycosidic bonds, so thereby it can able to produce disaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Disaccharides means it consisting of two monomeric units or two monosaccharide units held together by the glycosidic bond. Oligosaccharide means more than 2, less than 10 monosaccharide units are held together by glycosidic bonds. Polysaccharide means more than 10 monosaccharides are held together by the glycosidic bonds. Okay, so that means the glycosides either of two types. So first one is it consisting of one carbohydrate group or one hemiacetal or hemiketal part, and it is connected to the non-carbohydrate by the glycosidic bond. And another one is a both the glycosidic double bond is present between the carbohydrate moieties. So there are two types of glycosides are there. So first one is a carbohydrate and non-carbohydrate held together by the glycosidic bond, and another one is a both carbohydrate moieties held together by the glycosidic bond. Okay. So for that reason, so it is named as beta 1,2,4 glycosidic bond. That means the nomenclature of this glycosidic bond which is present in a glycoside, it depends upon the carbon atom number which are involved in the glycosidic bond, as well as status of anomeric carbon. So here The first thing is that carbon atom number. So the carbon atom number, which is, so those are involved in glycosidic bond. So in case of lactose, so lactose is a combination of beta galactose and glucose. Beta galactose and glucose. And there is a glycosidic bond formed between the first carbon of beta galactose and fourth carbon of glucose. So the carbon atoms involved in the glycosidic bond formed is nothing but C1 and C4 of C1 of beta galactose and C4 of glucose. So for that reason it is named as 1, 2, 4. And status of anomeric carbon means, so in case of monosaccharides or hemiesters, so when you see in that, so there is a anomeric carbon atom is present. So the anomeric carbon atom is nothing but which is attaching to the terminal aldehyde or keto group. Terminal aldehyde or keto group. And to this terminal aldehyde or keto group, to the left side, if you have OH group, then it is considered as the alpha form. Or when it is attached to the right side, OH group is attached to the right side of this carbon atom, then it is named as the beta form. It is named as the beta form. So here the galactose is the beta form of, so here the galactose which is present in the lactose is nothing but the beta form. So it is a beta galactose. That means it consisting of beta anomeric carbon. It consisting of beta anomeric carbon. So for that reason, the glycoside bond which is formed between these two monosaccharides are termed as the beta 1 to 4 glycosidic bond. Understood? So I will explain with the molecular structures.